On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to discuss some new ways for businesses to make money with YouTube. And if you want to make money with YouTube, well, then we've got some good friends that can help you to do so. It's our friends over at Movo who can help you to get the microphones that you need, the lights that your clients need, and, of course, all the other stuff that you need to make your videos look amazing. Head on over to raiselinks.com/Movo to check out all the great products they have available for you right now. And with that, Steve, let's hit the music.
Alrighty.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
It's the radio show about Video Marketing Madness with Ray, the video guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper, and my YouTube channel is Steve Sleeper Trains, and
Yes.
hey, we're on Apple Podcasts. Head over there, subscribe, give us a 5-star review.
That's right. Do it.
Do it.
Do it now.
Do it now. So today, we're going to talk about how a business can make money with YouTube. And this kind of came from, a show about a month ago. We talked a little bit about it. And then I got a customer of mine that Ray's consulting with on how to do this. And Ray came up with a bunch of new information, too. He's been really reading up on this. So that's where all this is coming from. So take it away, Ray.
Yeah, well, the thing is for a long time, we've used YouTube for things like traffic and citations and trying to make our Google business profiles get better and all that kind of fun stuff that really, it provides value on YouTube to an extent, but realistically, we're kind of using YouTube for all of its intrinsic values. This is a little bit different, and this is where a business will actually, I guess we'll call it, create their own side business that is YouTube.
Uh-huh.
In other words, it's not necessarily that you're trying to drive traffic back to your website. If you do, that's great. But realistically, you're actually trying to provide some sort of information that's in your area of expertise to make actual money from YouTube. That could be through advertising. That could be through selling merchandise. And, of course, to an extent, depending upon your business, sending people back to your channel. But for instance, if you were a plumber in a small town of 4,000 people, if you wanted to do something on YouTube and you're getting millions of views from all over the world, it isn't going to help your local business any. But it certainly can help your bottom line because you're going to be making a lot of money in other ways. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about, because there are some great ways for various businesses to be able to do that. For instance, we've got some friends, and I've been kind of talking with them on and off. I'm trying to get to an opportunity where I take over their channel and kind of help them out here, because they're plumbers and they do some great plumbing videos where they teach people how to do different things with their plumbing, and they're pretty entertaining. They have a lot of fun doing it, and they even make some money. No, they're making thousands and thousands of dollars every single month in advertising. No, but they're making a few $100 here and there. So every month they're making $200, $300, $400 from YouTube, which, I'll take it, right?
Oh, yeah,
you make
sure.
extra money just for what you're doing, take it. But if you could turn something like that into $5,000, $10,000 a month, that is, that can be life-changing depending upon what your business is and who you are and what you do. And there are a lot of ways to do that. In this case, they happen to be plumbers. So what are they doing? They're teaching little things. How do I unstop this kind of a drain? How do I change this kind of a faucet? What do I do when this happens? All of those things are going to be highly, highly popular. I know, because I had an issue the other day while I'm still out in Rhode Island, and we had an issue here with a sink where the faucet was leaking just a little bit, and we decided to replace it. Well, when we got it back, it did not use a standard attachment to hold the old faucet in, and we couldn't get it out. We actually had to call a plumber, and they came, and I was kind of vindicated a little bit because the new plumber came and they took one look at it and said, "What the heck is this?" So I said, "Okay, I guess I don't feel so bad anymore." And they ended up having to cut the little water hose things and snap the faucet off of the counter, because the counter was redone a couple of years ago with granite countertop, and they just put this new faucet in there, and I don't know how they connected it, but there was no traditional little collar that you unscrew and stuff like that. So anyway,
oh, really?
yeah.
Wow.
So people search YouTube for this kind of thing, and normally, if it wasn't for them doing something really weird that even the plumber didn't know what it was, you could learn how to do that yourself. And the people that make that video, well, they can probably be selling some of the products that you use. So if they're talking about how to change, a sink faucet, they may be able to sell you specialized tools. But they'll also be able to get advertising money. And if you don't know how the advertising money works, what you need to do is you need to have your channel. You need to have 4,000 hours of watch time, 4,000 hours of watch time, and 1,000 subscribers, and then you can apply to become a monetized channel. Once it's monetized, you can start to make money for the videos that people watch. Now, how many videos do you need to have? How much money do you need to have? How many views do you need to have to get the money? You need to have quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what you're going to get paid for is kind of by the thousand. If you think of everything by the thousand. And believe it or not, I was actually looking up one of our channels that we use for this very purpose, where we're making money from the advertising every month. And I was kind of shocked to see that we're actually getting about $10 per thousand now.
Oh, wow.
And that's big. That's good. Many channels are going to be in the $3, $4, $5, maybe $6 an hour, but we're now getting 10, which is very, very surprising. And I think it's because of the audience that we have. It's an older audience, a more wealthy audience, and I'm sure that has something to do with it. It's a more serious topic. But that's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. But you think about that. If you get $10 per thousand, if you get 100,000 views, right?
Yeah.
You're starting to make some money.
Yeah.
And now you can put that in your pocket.
Yeah.
And many businesses can do this. It doesn't have to be the plumber, like I said. We've got the neuropathy doctors. They teach about neuropathy. They create a video every single week teaching some sort of point about neuropathy, whether it's a product to buy or a certain type of medication or what foods to avoid or whatever it happens to be. Those videos get thousands and thousands of views, and they make money off of those views. It's a fantastic way to get extra money, and it's not something that they ever planned on making money with. They didn't plan on making money from YouTube advertising. They just wanted to have some great videos for clients and be able to sell their products that they have. And now they do both. Their sales for their products are through the roof, and they're getting $12,000 a month in advertising. And this is all stuff they were doing anyway. So this $12,000 is just money handed to them for existing because they were already making the videos, regardless of whether there was ad revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do this too in a variety of different businesses. You know, a great one would be real estate. You could be doing stuff about real estate, whether it's, you know, how you flip houses, which is very popular, or maybe it's how to sell a house or what to do with your house to be able to get it ready for sale. What are the top things that you should do to improve the price? You know, all these types of things that you could be teaching somebody if you had a real estate-based channel. Mm-hmm. How to make the most, how to negotiate with your realtor. Because believe it or not, you don't have to take that 6% that they say they're going to take from you. You can negotiate that stuff. So you need to learn how to do it. So they could have a channel where they're teaching these kinds of things and making a little bit of money. Another one would be in the law area. And this is something that Steve and I are starting to work on right now. And this can be absolutely massive. And if you think about it, go on to YouTube right now and start searching up some law-based topics, such as go after things like First Amendment rights or Fourth Amendment or Second Amendment. And you're going to see tons and tons and tons of videos where these people are challenging different types of laws and challenging amendments to see what the cops are doing. Now, a lot of it is gotcha videos, you know, like they're purposely going out of their way to try and force a cop to do something dumb so they can catch it on film. Well, as a lawyer, one of the things that you could do is review what's being done. So if there's somebody who got arrested because they were standing in front of City Hall videotaping the City Hall and they got arrested by the cops and they're screaming that it's an illegal arrest, if you're a lawyer, why not use that already viral popular video and do commentary on it?
Yeah.
Because you can now use that video in another video, stop it and say, hey, you know what, this cop, he just did this and it was perfectly legal for him to do that. The person, this First Amendment auditor was incorrect and the cop arrested him for it and here's why. Or maybe be the opposite and say, well, this cop should never have arrested him because he didn't break any law and here's why. Those types of videos can make millions and millions of views, get millions of followers. And you can check out, other lawyers have already done this. The civil rights attorney, I believe that is civil rights lawyer or the civil rights attorney. I think it's the civil rights lawyer. You look him up. All he does is comment on videos where things happened. And he makes tons and tons of money on advertising. And he's very dry, kind of boring, not the most exciting guy on the internet, on YouTube, but he gets tons and tons and tons of views, has tons of subscribers. Another one named Steve Leto. He doesn't even comment on other people's videos. He talks about other subjects that are going on. So somebody will send him in topics like, Steve, did you see when this happened? And he'll be like, somebody sent this in and asked me to comment on this. And he just talks about it. And again, millions and millions of views. Mm-hmm. And does that, this civil rights lawyer who's in Kentucky somewhere, does getting millions of views across the world help him with his Kentucky law firm? I would guess probably not. Now, some of his people that might hire him are certainly going to watch it and probably hire him because of it, but it's going to be a small number. He's doing this because he makes money from advertising. And doing that can be very, very lucrative. Like I said, think about if you made an extra $10,000 in your account every month just because you were commenting on videos, which is probably a fairly enjoyable thing to do, you're going to be pretty happy with that.
Oh, yeah.
Steve, what other kinds of businesses do you think? We talked about lawyers. We talked about real estate. We talked about plumbers. What other ones do you think could do really well with this? I can think of a few.
Well, of course, I'm pretty focused on DUI lawyers.
Sure.
And so
there's a lot of that, by the way, a lot of DUI commentary, because there's a lot of cops arresting people that are not drunk at all.
Right. And so I've sort of got blinders on for something like that. I don't know. Why don't you talk about your list? Because I haven't really ever thought about that. And I'm not like you. I don't think well on my feet. So.
Well, another great one, and one that we've done, is dentists.
Yeah.
It could be reviewing crazy products or even good products. We had a dentist. That's what he used to do. He'd be like, "Hey, this is such and such toothpaste, which some crazy toothpaste you never heard of," and he'll test it out, bacon flavored toothpaste or whatever, and he can test those kinds of things out. Now, is it because he's trying to sell bacon flavored toothpaste? Well, he might sell a few, but realistically, he's trying to get views so that he can make some money off of the advertising. It's a very, very popular way to do that. In fact, there's another dentist out there who, again, gets millions and millions of views, and he does these fun things where he does them at super high speed where he tests these different cleaning products to see if so he puts a thing in his mouth like a dye, and he chomps on it at 100 miles an hour to make his teeth all blue, and then he uses some new product to clean his teeth, and he sees if it actually cleans his teeth. And he gets millions of views because it's kind of interesting, he's entertaining, and the subject matter is something that you can relate to. So that's a good way to do that. And again, is he making money off of these products? Well, he might have an affiliate deal at Amazon or something like that, but realistically, he's doing it because he's getting views and getting paid for those views. And that's a really, really important thing. There's a guy by the name of Dr. Eric Berg. Dr. Berg is a chiropractor who talks about diet for the most part, and all the different things involved in diet, all the different pills, all the different medicines, all the different foods, all the different types of diets. And he's got I think he's now at like 11 million subscribers.
Wow.
And he gets millions and millions and millions of views every single day from all the stuff that he does on there. I mean, think about that. Just talking about these things, he gets, I don't even know. I don't even know how much money he gets in his pocket every month. He's probably getting $100 grand in his pocket every single month. It's absolutely crazy. So, if you can do that, why not, right? Why not do that?
And, and it could be that I have the wrong query here, but I Googled businesses that do YouTube videos, okay? And it's all about the big brands like Coca-Cola, or mom and pop storefronts that want to get more business, in the door. Yep. Or how to learn to be an entrepreneur, things like that. But I'm not seeing anything here that talks about what you're talking about. So does that mean it's a wide open market? Probably still is.
I would think so, especially in a lot of fields. Like the law one. Well, I was going to say the law one is pretty. There's a lot of people doing that, but there's a lot of non-lawyers doing a lot of that stuff.
Right.
Doing it from a lawyer's perspective, there are some out there. There are some really good ones. It's something that could definitely be done.
Well,
the plumbing one.
Here's the one. Here's the one I like. This is why I like attorneys. I mean, first of all, that was my first customer, so one thing led to another, which was a song in the '80s. But the other thing is these guys can talk. These guys have personalities. You know what I'm saying? So they're a piece of work to begin with, and that will project onto a video and be fun to watch. So that's why I like this idea for attorneys. Plumbers, you don't know. Depends. Depends on the plumber.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying.
Yep. And if you're good at it and you can really teach and you can, look good on camera, you got to do it. Now, this is a day and age where pretty much anybody can be on camera, but, let's be honest. For the most part, you got to be unique or you got to be good looking. Mm-hmm. And that's something you got to think about. If you're just some slob on camera,
like me,
it may not work out so well. I mean, it may. I can't say that it's going to do terrible. There are some people that are like that do well. But if you can clean yourself up, if you can lose a little weight, if you can get on camera and look pretty good, you're going to do well. Or if you are a very unique character, you can do very well also.
Yeah, I
got to think about that kind of stuff.
I know of this guy, and he's a DIY guy, and he's kind of heavy set, and he looks like a biker, and he's got a big old beard, and he wears bib overalls. Now, I mean, he showers regularly. Don't get me wrong, but he's got such a great personality, and he's so darn funny that his
Duck
looks,
Dynasty did pretty well.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, great example. Yeah. So, there you go. And Mountain Man, Mountain Man, talk about somebody with no personality, and he was one of the most popular characters on Duck Dynasty. So.
Yep. And, again, taking it to another level, there's also some really good ones in the retail space as well. So it doesn't always have to be about these reaction videos and things like that. There's a couple of really good channels. One that I really like was it's a kid down in Florida, and his parents own a Subway shop.
Oh.
And you never see him. You never see him on camera. What he does is he's got a camera that kind of shoots down at the food space, and he makes sandwiches and records while he's making sandwiches, and he tells stories. And I don't think he's telling the stories while he's shooting it, because he takes the video and he speeds it up so that he builds the sandwich very, very quickly. It's like
right,
100 miles an hour. But he tells a story about something that happened, either a customer that tried to do something crazy, somebody that tried to scam him, somebody that tried to rob them, whatever it happens to be. He talks about these things while he's building sandwiches. And, that's a direct play to his business, certainly, but he's getting views from all over the world about this because it's entertainment. And he does a good job with it. There's another guy, and again, this is another kid who does fresh-made ice cream. So he's in an ice cream shop where they actually make the ice cream fresh there. They take the ice cream, they put the chocolate, they put the strawberries, mix it all together, do all that kind of stuff. And again, he does the same thing. He kind of shoots down shows the video of him making the ice cream at 100 miles an hour, and then tells a story about people trying to scam them or whatever it happens to be, whatever's entertaining. The one I saw the other day was a DoorDash, or I shouldn't say DoorDash. I shouldn't throw DoorDash in there because it may not have been DoorDash, but I think it was one of those delivery services where the person who was doing the delivery was trying to scam them out of extra stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And how they dealt with it and how they got in touch with the customer and everything else and whatnot. But it was an interesting story, to say the least. And this is just some kid in an ice cream shop. And you can turn that into something that people actually watch and that can actually make some money.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's a really, really good thing. Now, if you want to get into something like this, let's say you're that lawyer, some things you got to think about. What do you want to focus on that's going to actually make you money? It's got to be something that would be entertaining. It's got to be something that people want to watch. It's got to be something that's going to be able to run ads, and you got to be able to run enough ads. So first thing you got to think about is, how long is your video going to be? You could do YouTube Shorts, but you're only going to make pennies per thousand. You could do regular videos, and you could make some money that way. You could make sure that your videos are over 8 minutes, in which case you can run multiple ads during the video. So if you can do things like this that are entertaining enough to keep people's attention and are over 8 minutes long, you can do very well with your advertising. Now, you can do well even if it's shorter than that and you don't get the multiple commercials. You can still do really well. But if your stuff is over 8 minutes, you get to run ads in the middle of the videos as well as the beginning and at the end, and you can make a lot more money doing that. So that's one thing you got to think about. But think about it from the context of people that have to watch it. Just because it's an 8-minute video and you can advertise more, it doesn't mean people want to watch it. So make sure the videos are watchable. They provide something of value. They've got a hook to get people in. And in the end, that can make you some money. Get it over that 8 minutes, run those ads, start making some money. So you can do that. And as a lawyer, again, it's very easy because you can do reaction shots. What if you're a cook? You could do reaction shots to people's cooking on the internet. You could do videos where you show people how to cook things on the internet. Lots of different possibilities. Go look up Gordon Ramsay. See the types of things that he posts, because he's got a lot of things on YouTube and on TikTok that are just straight up, here's how to make such and such meal. And he puts it together and does it all for you. If you can be entertaining and you can do that kind of thing, you can make some money there. So there's a lot of different opportunities. As an escape room owner, one of the ways that I make money is by doing short reels and getting lots of views for some of those reels and getting paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do some even more stuff with that, maybe figure out other ways to do non-short videos, get them onto there. The reels pay me actually fairly okay based on because we'll get a video that does 20 or 40 million. We'll get a bunch of videos that don't do a whole lot. But it's enough to put, $500 in my pocket each month just for doing something that's really the goal of that is to get people in the door. And yeah, it gets national or international views, but it gets local views, and then people come in. So you got to mix kind of the two things in there. But make sure you kind of decide, what are you going for with each individual video? Is this video just to get local people to find it and search so they'll come into your business? Or is it a video that you want to have people all over the world watch so you can make ad revenue? Think very hard about each video you do to make sure that it accomplishes what you want. Now, in many cases, it may accomplish both.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's even better. But just go in there and do something that people actually want to watch. I discovered, Steve, the other day I was watching some short videos, which I almost feel bad that I get caught in this loop of watching these short videos, sitting there flipping through. And they say that the attention span is getting shorter, and I find myself with that too. I'll flip to a short video, and it starts off with like some music and nothing happens, and I'm like, on to the next one.
Yep.
You got to make sure that you get people's attention immediately these days. If I'm falling for that and going, oh my gosh, I can't even watch 2 seconds of this. It's a 60-second video, and I can't even watch 2 seconds to find out if it's something worth watching or not. That's a scary thing. You got to be careful with that. Make sure you hook people right away.
Yep. And
a lot of the videos, use imagery that people recognize right away. In the case of those cop videos and things, the first thing you're going to see is a picture of like a cop car or a cop walking up to somebody. Maybe you've got a very short clip of what happens in that video, the main part, but then you cut it off before there's the resolution to it all so that you can play it in the actual video. Start the video off with something that's going to go, oh my gosh, this cop just did that. I got to watch this video. And then they're going to watch through the video. Whether that's a long form video or a short video, you kind of have to do it both ways because either one requires that you get people paying attention, get their attention. Okay? I know another couple people, they do tech blogging. And their goal is making money through tech blogs. Now, yes, they have ads running. They also have private sponsors that pay them to talk about a product during the shows, and they do really well with it. They typically are reviewing the latest Apple software or Apple products. When that new headset came out the other day that Steve posted about, that gets a lot of attention. So you need to start off showing that in your thumbnail, showing that right away so that people go, oh my gosh, I got to watch the rest of this video.
Right.
20-minute video, you got to hook them in and make them want to watch that 20 minutes. So you have to hook them in right away, letting them know they're going to get something out of this. Right. And typically, for a lot of people, it could just be taking a clip of the most exciting part, putting it right at the beginning to grab people's attention, and then cutting it off before you get the, whatever is going to be revealed out of that.
Here's one for you. There's a guy out there, and I forget the name of his channel, but what he does is talk about Karens. And
yes, that is a very big one.
Yeah, and he's done some full-length videos about Karens, and they did okay, but then he did shorts, and they get millions of views. So he goes with the shorts. And
he probably made more money with the long form.
Yeah, he might have. I don't know. But his shorts keep popping up, and I keep watching them, and I'm just assuming that, but you could be right. And what he will do is he doesn't show any footage or anything like that. He just does graphics, and maybe he has a picture that he saw on Reddit or, a screenshot or something like that. Very quick, very fast-paced, 1 minute, and he talks about it. There was one, okay, this was really funny. There was one where this bride and her bridesmaid, maid of honor, walked into a McDonald's and said, we're going to have a shower for Jenny, the bride, here at McDonald's today, and we only want women waiting on us. And a guy came out to ask him a question. They started yelling at him because they only wanted to deal with women, okay? And it's really strange. And it's really strange to have a shower at McDonald's. And they said, we're going to have a lot of people here, so get ready. So this guy talked about why are they doing this at McDonald's, and why wouldn't they give them a heads up before they came in? But here's the best part. Nobody showed up. And they have a picture of that a McDonald's employee took through a door from the outside, so they didn't know they were taking a picture of them. And they're just kind of sitting there with their heads in their hands. And that was one of them, And he tells a story, and he gets out of it in 60 seconds, and it's very fast-paced. So and these are relatively easy for him to do. Now, he does a real good job at the production, believe me, but yeah, that's kind of funny, isn't it?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. People love that kind of the Karens thing. Oh my gosh, I see those all the time.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, he takes a little different approach in that with the Karen videos, you kind of have to watch the videos of the Karen interaction, and sometimes there's really nothing there. Or this guy just tells you what happened with a lot of cool graphics, and that's more fun.
Yeah.
I like to see. I like to see people fall down. Anyhow,
I was going to say I saw one the other day where she's on camera, mind you, with this whole interaction, and she falls down on purpose and goes, "Oh, you hit me with your car!" And of course, it's all on camera. We're watching it. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
So people are crazy, and people love watching those videos, those Karen videos. And if you can comment on those, that could be a big thing. Now, I don't know, is a lawyer going to comment on Karen videos? Probably not. But there was a very famous one recently that I saw the original one, and I saw a few different ones where lawyers reacted. There's a newer one. I don't know if it's a newer channel or not. I've only seen it recently, where it's a lawyer, and he brings on other lawyers in a panel, and they discuss something that was captured on camera.
Wow.
And so they discuss it with like 3 or 4 lawyers. It's really good, I think. And they had the one, I think I mentioned this guy on one of the episodes recently. He was a college kid. He's on the football team or the lacrosse team or rugby team. I can't remember. But he gets pulled over and the cop says, I think you're drunk. I smell alcohol. He's like, oh, you smell alcohol, do you? You know. And the kid was a real smart mouth to the cop. Yeah. But I don't blame him either. Like, he wasn't bad to the cop. He wasn't yelling at him or swearing, but he was saying, you can test me all you want. You know, he says, you're going to look like an idiot, you know, things like that. And the kid was 100% right. He hadn't had anything to drink, but when the cop gave him the field sobriety test, says, oh, I think you're impaired. He's like, I'm not impaired. And then when he says, well, why don't you blow into the breathalyzer? He's like, okay, I'm going to blow all zeros and you're going to look like an idiot. And the cop goes, oh, I don't think so. And he blows in and he gets all zeros. And does the cop say, gosh, I'm an idiot?
Yeah, right.
No, the cop then goes, I think I smell marijuana, and arrests him. So the kid does the field sobriety test like no problem, blows zeros on the thing. The cop arrests him anyway because now he says, oh, I think you're on marijuana instead. And, of course, then he goes to the jail. He gets drug tested, and there's no drugs. And he told the cop, he's like, I'm an athlete. They test us every week. If I did any of this stuff, I'd be thrown off the team, you know. But the cop didn't want to hear it. Yeah. And then at the end, the kid said, I want to talk to the cop. And he sat him down and he goes, I want you to know it's not that I'm mad at you. I'm just really disappointed that you don't take your job seriously.
Yeah. Well,
and it was hysterical. Yeah. And these lawyers loved it. They're like, okay, I would not recommend people talk that way to the cops because they're just going to get themselves into trouble anyway. He says, even if they're correct, talking to them that way is not going to get the cop on your side to do anything. But the cops aren't on your side. You know, they're out to get you. And, you know, but it was pretty funny to watch. Yeah, this cop should not be arresting him right now. And, you know, so very interesting stuff.
Wild, wacky stuff. Yeah. Well, of course, cop didn't even come close to having probable cause. So,
No. And that's what the lawyers are saying. There's no, you know, and they pointed out, well, he could have probable cause here for this reason or that reason. But, you know, so they tried to get away with it all. Yeah. What can you say?
Right. Well, good stuff, you know. This is I'm going to have Joey listen to this. My client, he'll like this. He'll get some ideas.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah,
I'm sure he will. He could do well with this. He's got the personality and the character.
Oh,
to do
he sure does. And he's not Attorney Joey Franks. He's the big. Well, he does mention his name, but he's Joey Franks, the big man at Big Man Law. That is unique in and of itself.
Yep.
And he's got the personality, like you said. So, let me ask you, Ray, who helped make this show possible today?
Well, I'll tell you who made this show possible. It was our good friends over at Movo who make all the great things that you need in order to make great videos. Whether you are trying to get a better microphone while you're recording some great video, or maybe you need a desktop microphone to do a podcast or review videos, or maybe you need a light to stick onto your camera, or maybe you've got your smartphone and you want to turn it into an entire shooting rig. Well, if you head on over to raiselinks.com/Movo, you can check out all the great products they have, like the LV1 lapel microphone, which about $16.
Whoa.
And you can have a nice microphone so that you don't have to deal with the crappy microphone on your phone.
That's right.
Head on over there now, raiselinks.com/Movo, to check out all the great things they have so that you can shoot like a pro, even if you only have your smartphone. Do it.
Cool stuff.
Indeed.
Well, I think it's time for, what's her name, Mildred, to sing the jingle?
I think it is. I think here she comes.
Here she comes.
Here she comes.
Walking down the street. Hit it, Mildred.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.